Welcome to the program. This is What's Your Story? My name is Catherine Mwangi here at the Ambassador of Slovakia's residence, Her Excellency Katarina Lelikdonova. So let us go meet her and get to know her story. Oh, lovely home. Oh, there's a dog. Oh, Your Excellency. I see when the dogs are welcoming us.
Yes,
There's a sound of it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I see you have books everywhere.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Thank you very much. You know, because books are, you know, as always has been quite essential.
Beautiful.
So welcome. Thank you very much. Welcome to actually to Slovakia. This is the ground of Slovakia.
Yes.
Have you been to Central Europe before?
No.
Oh, you have now.
I haven't been to Central Europe.
Let me show you later. This is a painting representing a female, Slovak female in the past, in history, in her costume. It's a little bit abstract.
Okay.
But as you see, it's a powerful woman.
Huh.
Because we have a very strong tradition of the matriarcha. Because you know we have experienced Second World War.
Yes.
And that was the time when women had to step in.
Yes.
And since then, I mean, we continue with the power coming in.
Lovely. And you love paintings. I see them all over your house.
Yeah, it is. We have a combination, of course. This is a Slovak Bratislava in the winter. And this is a very special one.
Okay.
It's of my daughter.
Oh, she paints?
Yeah, she paints. It was just, this is of course Kenyan countryside.
It's beautiful.
So, thank you very much.
It's beautiful. She's talented. And I see you have pets everywhere.
Well, I have now a special situation because we have fat kittens. So that's Mia and her kitten, Shai. But of course, the dog he comes with us everywhere we go because that's the fate of the diplomat once you travel.
Yes.
I mean, you assemble your entire family. So I have a daughter, and then of course a dog who always travels with us.
Right behind you.
Just behind me, Timmy is trying to calmly accept the kittens.
So they play together.
They play together.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is we are very inclusive as this is a Kenyan one. I couldn't resist.
So you love animals?
No, not only animals. I absolutely love the art and the creativity. And in Kenya, I'm in heaven because any gallery I go, any underground activity, it's very very creative and very free and very
so you
inspiring.
love art.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, your home is very artsy. Very artsy. Actually, it's the first time I'm seeing cushions like this, to be honest.
These are from the gallery nearby.
Just here, in Kenya?
Yeah, in Nairobi,
Wow.
very nearby.
Wow.
So it's very inspirational to be here. That's the woman power. That's the thing. That's about the book I've been reading.
Oh.
But of course, we as well have a specific artistic
from Slovakia?
exposure of Slovakia. This is a very specific Slovak. You know, we are a small country, about 50,000 kilometers squared.
Oh wow!
And
so that's a population of how many people?
5.5 population.
Wow!
But we have such a specific history. In every town or in every valley, we have a different costume, different music, different specific art. So this is you know just a representation of few, and that's usually very colorful colors that you see in the nature.
It's pretty.
So we are small. We have many mountains, caves. We have a culture.
Yeah.
We are strong fighters to protect the environment, of course.
Yes, and you've done a lot of work in that area, by the way.
We did, and I'm so happy to be here, therefore, in Kenya, and because of the UNEP and the seed which has been here, it's very crucial.
Love it. Well, thank you for welcoming us.
Would you mind coming outside?
Okay, cool.
And,
lead the way.
The weather is beautiful outside, the sun is shining.
Yes.
Why don't we just sit outside?
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, Timmy is very calm and lovely. He likes the atmosphere, no? It's very calming.
Yeah, but you guys have a close relationship, huh?
Well, he just let him be, and it's natural for dogs to somehow accompany the pack.
Yeah.
So if he decides and feel like to be, see,
there you go.
No,
no, I'm not leaving.
No. So but
okay.
Yes, he's a part of our family. He travels with us everywhere.
Yes.
So I think he might consider himself a human. I think. I'm not sure.
At this rate.
At this rate.
Okay. So do you sit out here? It's so beautiful and meditate. What do you do out here with this space?
Well, most important thing for me is how to use it. Is of course with my daughter and my family. When the weekend comes, sometimes half of the weekend, but we usually I really try to balance work and family life.
Nice.
So we always come here, have something small to eat,
Right.
or we chat about everyday issues,
just
because
life
that's
matters.
life matters.
Yeah.
So it's really comfy
beautiful.
and beautiful, and
Yes.
and as well as I've said before,
Yeah.
The nature here is beautiful, and the climate is lovely.
Yeah.
We would have this in Slovakia.
What's the weather like there?
We have quite distinct 4 seasons. So we have
okay.
very cold winters, goes up to -20, -15
No.
in specific areas.
What
Yeah,
do you
it does.
wear?
I wear.
Feels like a jacket is not enough.
It is, because we have jackets up to -20 now. Actually, I do have one layer and then the jacket on.
And that's it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, don't want to steal it from the Nordic countries, but you say it's not a bad weather.
Yeah.
Just the clothing that you're wearing. So this is very specific.
Yeah.
And summers are quite hot. We do feel the consequences of climate change.
Yeah.
They're much hotter than they used to be. When I was a kid, they were around 28, 29, 30 was like over the top. But now we got up to 36.
No.
Yeah. And then we have spring and autumn. So absolutely lovely time when you have this time coming out or into winter or spring.
Okay. So when you're here, you don't put on any warm clothing, right? Like it's never cold for you.
When I go to Mount Kenya, it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's snowing there, so I do. But I'm telling you, in Nairobi, I mean, I would not mind flip-flops all the time. I mean, you know, and it's very funny. People wearing hats.
Yeah.
And you know the jackets that we exactly those we wear when there's -20. But of course, it is upbringing. When we were kids, my parents used to take me up the mountains when I was like 2 years old. I started skiing when I was 3. It's very natural for us to do sports.
Okay.
And this is, or maybe it was my family.
I think so. I think
but
so.
Usually people ski and swim quite early.
Wow.
Because of course when the kids are quite skillful, and it's always good for them natural to do this kind of sport. So for me, the touch with the environment and the temperature is always, it's in a way connected with a very nice experience.
Yes.
So for me, it's not a problem
at all.
No.
And you've touched on environment. So we'll come to that, because fast forward, then your life was heavily involved with environmental matters. So you just connecting that to your childhood, and how you
in a way.
Yes.
And as well, I have to now mention my granddad.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I mean, we used to go a lot to the forest. And he would always explain to me what kind of tree is that, and you know, I mean, he gave me such an insight, very naturally, because we just were walking and had a good time. You know, when you have there's this chat with grandparents.
Yes.
And he really took me close to the nature.
Yes.
And since then I always somehow been very positive.
Yes.
And I felt quite a great responsibility towards the environment.
Yes.
And as well the values that you have. It's very important to protect it, and for the future generations as well.
Yes.
So I feel a part of a big solution.
Oh.
So now I'm trying to, of course, nothing has changed.
No.
I still have the very same approach, but of course I got different means now to protect it.
Yes.
At that time, we used to, when there was a -20, we used to bring the salt for the animals, because they drink. You know, they drink the salt during the winter.
Yes.
So when I was a kid, I was doing this. And now when I'm an ambassador, I have more tools to be a little bit more powerful in a position to protect the environment. So more than happy to be active here, and as well in UNEP. And it's great that the Nairobi seats the one of the four UN headquarters.
Yes.
And deservingly, it's habitat in UNEP. One of the 2 most important topics lately.
Climate change and environment, yes. But we'll come to that. We'll come to that. So your childhood. So you've talked about granddad. You've talked about your parents. So when you said, or maybe it was just your parents, were they crazy? You know,
well, they were
different.
Quite liberal.
Oh,
they were quite liberal. In a way, I've never had, nobody had ever put a hand on me when I was a kid.
Okay.
I mean, I think the look was enough for my dad. He goes like, all my classmates were really
Okay.
very, very respectful.
Yeah.
I've been here to do this posture, which was quite enough. But they were very liberal and very
Yeah.
loving. Actually, it was my dad who everybody was afraid of.
Okay.
When we were in my room and there was this plain wall, and he was like, he always told me these crazy fairy
Yeah.
tales about Little Red Riding Hood on the bike, you know, and he always makes it a little bit more,
Yeah.
more funny. And I remember the moment when, and I still do have it engraved quite deeply in me. He took a pencil and started to draw on the wall, the white wall. And since then we were allowed with my sister to express and draw something or write something on the wall in our room. So from this point of view, I had this kind of a feeling that things are possible.
Yeah, you can do anything.
You can do anything in a way.
Yeah.
But we were quite strict household. We were strict household. We have very, very ethical, quite high ethical values.
Yes.
But we were very liberal.
Yeah.
Until 15, I thought I could do anything I want.
So what happened at
This
50?
is what I've been told
Reality
by my
check.
parents. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Then you go to high school, huh?
Yeah.
But this was the approach that I got, and I think it did influence me where I'm now, how I perceive things, whether I take them that seriously or not.
Yes.
And
An independent mindset. I've seen that in you. Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Because it's very important to look out of the box, and maybe, and as well in combination with your with the set of your mind.
Yes.
Always, because what I think,
Yeah.
if you'd like to achieve any goal
Yeah.
that you're going after, I mean, you have to be self-confident, and you have to be as well quite happy inside.
Yes.
You have to be a happy cookie
Contentment.
contentment, yeah. So that's important.
Yeah.
And so it's not easy sometimes. I haven't been there all the time. I'm telling you, you have to work. But you know that Aristotle said, like, I know that I don't know everything.
Yeah.
So that you have to really work on yourself within. So I said, okay, I have to really reconsider,
Yeah.
or I should not take this that seriously,
No.
or I should have taken that more seriously.
Yeah.
So you know, I've a story of many. I just managed to grow up
Yeah.
and had different experiences, but this really did help me too.
Yes.
You know, I've told you I've started skiing when I was 3.
Imagine that. At 3 years. So, do you find how you were raised? First of all, when you described your dad, my mind thought then you must have taken after your dad, because you have the same sense of humor. Like, you're super funny. When you first came here, man, you were rolling with it, you know.
I just laugh life.
You got that from your dad, no? Yeah.
No, it's from my mom.
Is
My dad is quite introversial, in a way, I think.
okay.
Yeah, and my mom is really funny cooking. I mean, but we used to laugh a lot as a family. I don't know. I mean, because we always were together, and we were interconnected, more generations, with the grandparents as well.
Yes.
And as you know, we used to be Czechoslovakia as a country.
Yes.
Prior, Slovakia became and I was growing up in Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
For me, Czech language was my second language, like my mother tongue.
Yes.
My daughter now, she had got a little bit difficulties understanding it.
Okay.
So for me, it was like one entity. So I was born into Czechoslovakia and was growing up until my teenage years in Czechoslovakia. And at the time we were satellite of Russia, of course. At the time we didn't have that much possibilities to travel, and we really did get best out of the gatherings with the families and around. So we had a lot of fun all together, getting on, and we were talking about stories. You know, we were listening to grandparents speaking about their experiences. I think this is important as well, and did have a great influence on me.
Yes.
My grandma used to tell me everything about the Second World War. She experienced it a lot. So we had this opportunity to. This is Mia. So another animal.
Timmy came right under me. But
Yeah. So this is. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
So this is the family values that we had.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was not only my mom and father, but I think entire family. So that's I think it's very important to have the friends around or family around.
Yes.
To enrich you.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
People should not be
I
living
love
in their
it.
bubble.
I love
and
it.
especially intergenerational. It's very, very important. I try my best to to get my daughter
It's still
with
the same.
yeah, to get my daughter with my parents, and even my grandma still lives. She's 93, turning soon.
She's alive?
She's alive.
93.
She's alive, and she's with a bright mind. So
Wow.
we speak a lot, and she still can tell me a lot about the
Mm.
past when she was growing up.
Okay, so in terms of, because Slovakia, so it's one of those countries where that sounds really exotic, you know. You don't even want to put it on your bucket
Hopefully
list.
in a positive way, because
No, really, of course.
no, nobody cares way.
Yeah. So
Yeah, of course.
tell me like 3 things that, you know, we do not know about Slovakia.
Slovakia is a country. It is very famous for its spas and caves. We have very, very unique mineral water resources. We use it for healing.
Oh.
We use it it is officially prescribed to you by doctor. So you have the mineral water coming in, you know, the spring.
Yeah.
Because you know we used to have spas.
Yes.
Spa, it was from the Romans. We used it for healing purposes.
Yes.
And we have such a rich sources of mineral water for different diagnoses. We use it as a part of a natural treatment. It's prescribed by the doctor as a penicillin. So when you need, you can put on a mat, or you can drink it. It's terrible sometimes, stinky, and but it's the richest that we got from the nature. Second thing is that we have introduced a flying car. Nobody know, but there's other side of Slovakia. We are very innovative, and we have very clever people coming in with solutions because we're a small country with not very heavy resources. Natural resources. I mean, oil or different kind of
minerals.
Minerals and so on. So it's our brains who is helping us to go forward. So we have a flying car.
Flying car.
We do. It has been introduced in Expo this year. It flies. It flies off. I thought that it's a car.
Wait, with people inside?
Yes. Yes. Well.
Wow.
Okay. Well, this is just an example of our creativity,
the uniqueness
that we have,
of your country.
the uniqueness, and then I think solidarity. Now and it is greatly shown with the current situation in Ukraine, because we border Ukraine, and it was actually people who first came in with the solidarity, because we have quite a number of refugees coming in.
Yes.
And as well now standing with the Ukrainian people. So it's up. So this was one of the moments that I thought, okay, I'm very proud of Slovakia.
Wow. And you also have a lady president.
We do.
Yes.
It's the first female president.
Yes, in your country.
In Slovakia, and in the history of Czechoslovakia itself.
Yeah. So what is the impact? What has the impact been just having her at the very top for the country?
It had a great influence, I think, on generations.
Yes.
Not only, surprisingly, not only on the younger generations who think now this is the way to go.
Yes.
But as well with the older generation, because you know all those grandmas saying, "Finally, this has come true." So and they feel really content. You know, at the autumn of their lives as well, that they've been recognized. So I think it did have a great influence, impact, and she's a very professional. She's an environmental lawyer. Absolutely. It has been a pleasure. I worked for her for 2 years.
And you'll tell us about that experience.
I'll tell you about that experience. But for as I've said this, I've been saying this all the time. For my daughter, I mean, it's for her. It's not even a question. That there were times when the woman could not have been a president. So for her, it comes naturally. So she thinks automatically she drives a car. She'll become a president. It's possible. So it does, because it's mindset. It was about time. For a high representative to be a woman.
I think it's incredible because, like in our case here, this being an election year as well, we are all waiting to know who will be the number 2, and everyone is we're all crossing our fingers that it will be a woman, because of exact same reasons you've said. Our daughters, our young girls will be like, it is possible to get there. So, cross your fingers with us.
But of course, what I have to add as well, the very same, it should be about our president. She's very clever. She's very wise. She's very well experienced.
Yes.
So I mean, we are super happy and lucky. So when I'm saying that, of course, she's a woman.
Yes.
But of course, she's a capable woman.
On merit. She's
Yes,
there on merit.
She's there on merit.
Yes.
Not saying that there are many men who are there without merits. This should
that's not
be,
what we are saying.
Yeah, we're not what you're saying. But as well, it should be always. I mean, especially in such an important posts, institutions, it's important. It is the best one for the country.
Yes.
And in our case, we are super lucky. It's a female who is the best one in the country. You should see her in a pre-election debate.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Brilliance.
Brilliance.
My gosh.
Flying colors.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, I believe you.
Okay.
I believe you. But for now, I have to take a very short commercial break. Then when we come back, we shall be now finding out how Her Excellency got into this ambassadorial position. It didn't just fall from the sky. There's lots of hard work. Lots of hard work went into it, and maybe hopefully some exciting experiences. We get to know that right after the break. Don't go too far.
Or through the fund that we support EU, it always have a cross-cutting issue, and it is environment and women empowerment.
Is it?
Yes, every project we do have to have a context.
Welcome back to the program. It's What's Your Story? My name is Catherine Mwangi. I'm in Slovakia today and I'm not coming back home. Well, no, I'm just, at the Slovakia Ambassador's residence. Her Excellency Katarina Lelikdonova.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Katarina and Catherine. Oh, never happened before.
Never?
No.
Oh, it's very usual name in Slovakia.
Yeah, right?
Yes, it is.
No, but I also like Katarina. It has some, some zing to it.
You mean Katarina the Great? No, of course.
There you go. So, Your Excellency, how did you get here? So, you told us in part one you're a student of political science. Yes. And during the break, you told me something else that
True.
I didn't know.
Yeah. During my studies, of course, I have a vast interest, and one of them was sport as well. As you know, the consequence of parents, I was skiing since 3, so for me the exercise and love for movement was there. So I decided to as well to be a little bit more professional in that. So I studied for 3 years a course of trainer. I mean, within the university for physical science.
Wow.
I mean, and I did have 3 years I became a professional trainer of the 2nd class.
What?
So I can train you.
Like, if I say I need to lose weight, you know what to do?
Well, not to lose weight. I would, if you would like to become more fit, I would do that. Yeah, and healthier and fitter.
Yes.
Of course, I mean, automatically someone might lose weight, but that's not the goal. I think, it's for all the girls and women and men out there. It's just about your health.
Yes, it's about your health. So does that also cover nutrition?
It does. It does. You have to be somehow aware what you're eating, of course.
Yeah, because it all works together.
No, it does.
So why did you choose political science?
Political science. I've been thinking about it. Absolutely love the biology. I love many things, but I used to read a lot.
Okay.
I used to go and visit my grandma. She had this beautiful old library full of books, and I started to with the Three Musketeers. Think like this, and I was maybe 5th grade. It wasn't really content-wise. I don't know. My grandma just let me read it, but so I read it. But since then, I was really intrigued about the relations of people, societies, how things are evolving, and I considered political science to be a potentially interesting thing to study. Yeah. So I've decided to do so.
Wow.
And here I am. Afterwards.
So were you studying it with the intention to get into foreign service, or you were just studying it because you loved it?
Of course, I mean, I had some kind of a future in mind. I want to be studying it because just I like it, but I wanted to go that way. But I wasn't sure yet whether it's going to be a diplomatic service or it's going to be sociology. You know, you could have you could work for the NGO with the political side. You have to be clever cookie in different kind of fields. Oh. And I actually consider it to be great general knowledge. Yes. I mean, everybody should get a bit of a political science in the studies. We have it in our secondary schools because it gives you information about society, how things work. So, but I did had in my mind that I would love to do something with international relations.
Oh.
I always felt like I want to represent my country, Slovakia, because of course, you know, we are members of European Union, and at the time we were just entering the European Union, and you can work for European Foreign Service, for example, or you can work for UN international organizations.
Yes.
When you achieve, you aim to you aim for the bigger goals.
Yes.
For the good of humanity, which I absolutely love, but certainly I would like to be there on the national level, because I think you can do a little bit more change and a little bit more power.
Yes.
So this was my intention, to somehow be involved. But after in my 4th grade, this is what I did. I would recommend to everybody. I did internship.
Okay.
Because this is what we do during the university studies. We did an internship. I did it in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Oh.
And I remember at the time, it was in 2000, and there was a millennial summit of the UN. So we have a president going in, prime minister, so it was buzzing busy.
Yeah.
You know, so this internship was not only about looking here and there, but I was fully fledgedly involved, and it really did help in the future. And it was the moment I've decided that I would absolutely love to come in afterwards.
Yes.
But after school, I did not enter the foreign service yet.
Okay.
I worked for a year and a half for the institution which was dealing with the pre-accession a procedure of Slovakia to European Union.
Okay.
Because we become a member a little bit later in
Yes.
3 years. Well, the year I finished my university studies, so I was there in a team dealing with and closely cooperating with the European Commission on our entry to the European Union. I helped somehow, as much as I could, to create the documentation and our priorities. How shall we? What are those that will be covered with the pre-accession funds, for example, or financial support?
Yes.
You know, so this was a year and a half of absolutely great work. So dealing with a bit of a EU and this overlap, because you know, European Union, our membership, I mean the policy is in a way internal policy. For us, it's not a foreign policy, because we are so interconnected, intertwined, of course.
Yes.
But then afterwards, my heart was still beeping, like I wanted to leave Slovakia for a while.
Oh.
I used to travel a lot prior, and there was the opening at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so I did pass the test. It was one of the hardest entry tests. You had like few rounds, so I've managed to be at the end. It was in English, last one, the interview was in English, of course, and I had different people sitting in. Now I know all of them. Now you know, there were senior colleagues, but at the time it was a freshman.
Yes.
You know, so and I've managed to get in, and since then I worked at the MFA since 2003.
Wow.
And till now, so it took me quite a while, nearly 20 years, well, 18 years to get the position of ambassador. Of course, we have a policy. So I'm a career diplomat. I am not a political appointee. So I did all my steps up to the position that I'm in now.
What are those steps like? So, did you serve in other countries in different capacities? Or
Of course, okay. I did. This is not my first posting. It is a precondition for that, of course, because you go all up the ranks, diplomatic ranks, and each of the ranks, of course, require specific skills. And it is quite black on the paper. We have a regulation how we should proceed career-wise. So, for example, if you'd like to have I'm telling you, second secretary, which is like middle level of the diplomatic representation, you need to have at least 2 postings. Prior to that, of course, and as well you write a thesis which you have to somehow then present to the committee, and if you done that, it's well received. You'll be given, for example, the
next step.
The next step. So this is how you go step by step. Prior to this, of course, no, and I have to tell you something very specific. You know, when the murder comes to the scene of the crime. So I've started my career in Kenya. My first posting was in Nairobi in 2005.
Right.
Yes, until 2009. So this was Kenya, and then I went to Addis Ababa, to Ethiopia, where I've been accredited to African Union.
Right.
But within the Kenya, my main responsibility, which was a great experience as well, was to cover our membership in the Security Council. Slovakia, we were a non-permanent member of the Security Council, as Kenya is now.
Yes.
So the job you're doing now as a country, we did it in 2005 and 6.
Yes.
So, and I was the one dealing with the continent of the Great Lakes and Horn of Africa.
Wow.
So I was sending it home. It was, I mean, tough work.
Yes.
It was the most intensive period of my time-consuming work.
Yes.
But and then I've been to Addis. And then I've been working on maternity leave with my daughter. Of course, I'm kidding, but it's called maternity. Even in Slovak language, it's a holiday.
Oh.
It's like, if you translate it, maternity leave means maternity holidays. Okay. You know, I mean, in the language, it should gives you, but of course, it's a holiday from your work, but you come into the one which is not paid.
It's work.
It's work still.
Yes.
And so I've decided to be at home for a while with my daughter, because in Slovakia, it's quite generous. You can be at home on maternity leave up to 3 years.
No.
Yeah. You have, we have 6 months. And then up to 3 years, and even fathers can do that.
Yes.
So they can join you. So you can be with the child at home for 3 years. I've decided to be home for 2 years.
Okay.
And then after the 2 years, by chance I just got this phone call from a colleague of mine. He said, like, by the way, wouldn't you like to? I mean, I have this. Wouldn't you like to come back?
Yeah.
Have you been considering? But I did, but I still wanted to a bit later, but I've decided to go back to work after 2 years of maternity and 2 months.
Wow.
I went back to work and I continued. I worked for a few years within the, in Bratislava, in the MFA, dealing with the multilateral issue of security, quite and humanitarian aid and development assistance, very interesting work. And from there, I went not very far, Vienna, where I've been working for the United Nations, representing Slovakia, of course, there, and dealing with the nuclear issues, non-proliferation and armed trade regimes, very specific. This was an interesting period of my life as well, because I've never have seen so many black suits and non-smiling faces in my life. But of course, it was connected to the topic.
Yes.
And then after Vienna, I've been where I've spent 4 years. And I had that experience pretty good. We've been in some positions, and as a Slovakia, we were chairing the board of governors of the IAEA. Perfect and very responsible job. Our regulator, nuclear regulator, is a female.
Oh.
So the 2 years, the nuclear body within the Vienna was led by a Slovak woman. Just saying.
Wow.
It was Ms.
deal.
Marta Žižáková. It was big deal, and she gave a great opportunity for the team. I was part of her team as a representative from the MFA, so it was a great experience as well.
Yeah.
And from there, I got this phone call from the office of the president whether I would like to join them for a while, because we have the system in Slovakia that after the part of the team within the president for the responsible foreign policy comes from the MFA. Okay. And so I've been requested to come in. So since then, and I spent a few years there with the previous president and the current one.
Yes.
And then I've decided it's time to move. And it was time for me to reach this post. So I went with this ambition. I said, okay, I would like that. He was like, I said, yes, please. And then at the end, I've managed to do so, because of course it's not really easy as well as a procedure to become ambassador. You have to as well, of course, write a thesis. You know, you have to go in front of the parliament, you know, to explain what is your cause of the foreign policy in your country and so on. You know, so it's not that easy. No. But I've passed. And here I am.
My good, what a journey!
Yeah, it was. Sorry, I took 15 minutes of your interview on monologue, but you have to stop me.
But it's incredibly fascinating for me that correct me if I'm wrong, your first posting in 2005 was here.
Yeah, exactly.
So does it feel like a full circle moment for you?
Yes, it does. It's unbelievable.
Yeah?
Yes, it does. It does.
And what work were you doing here?
At the time, I was working for the embassy, because I was already at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. At the time, I was deputy head of mission. So I was number 2.
Yes. So when you're making your request to now get into an ambassadorial position, did you select Kenya, or that was?
I did select it deliberately. I would not go anywhere else.
Really?
That was my choice.
Why?
Well, because you know, why did I choose Kenya, or why did I decide?
Why
Okay.
did you choose Kenya?
Why? Well, I've got few reasons.
Yes.
First of all, very practical one. There was opening. Because of course there was a change of the ambassador here. Because of course you have to reflect to the situation. So
Right.
so there was this incentive that I've seen. Like, oh, okay, Nairobi. You know, I've been thinking about it for quite a while now, and two main things. One is I wanted to come back to the UN and return to the environmental sphere, and I wanted to do a little bit more and try to enhance few goals through multilateral tools, which we are doing quite actively now. We have a Minister of Environment as a Vice Chair of the Bureau of UNESIX, you know. Myself, I'm a member of the Bureau of CPR of UNEP, Habitat as well, but of course. But but this is what I wanted to do, so this is what I'm doing. But and the second reason as well was I felt like it was time for a change. I always do take into consideration my intuitive kind of a feeling, and I listen to me sometimes. I sometimes don't know what's going on. But I just feel, you know, I mean, I absolutely love my job, absolutely love the team of the president, the opportunity of my life. I could have continued without any difficulties. I had actually difficulties getting out of the office, in a way, you know. So, but of course, the president, she said, I mean, feel free to leave, because I'm not gonna. She didn't want to meet that much, but she said, I'm not gonna stop you in your ambitions, please. I'm sad that you're leaving. But go, please. So I've decided to go, and the third one, I mean, another side of it was my family, of course. Not only career-wise, but I have an 11-year-old daughter. And I wanted to as well show her a bit of a life somewhere else, out of the Europe. She's fully aware. I mean, she's been traveling with us since she was born. Since I've had her. But I wanted to show her a bit of Kenya. Maybe it was a bit of a
personal reason, not selfish, personal.
No, personal. But I did wanted to show her how is life somewhere else, how it is important that, and you can change the things. You know, for her, when she came, she didn't recognize she was somewhere else, because I didn't really predict it, that she don't really got the change. Because she's a child, she doesn't care. You know? I mean, she came in, she feels very comfortable. She didn't, apart from the better weather and the mangoes that you have here, you know, we import ours, so it's terrible. But so she didn't recognize. So I thought I would give her a bit of a change, but not positive on that front. But we do see some situations where she understands, you know, and that she every person on this planet should be responsible for the future of others as well, and you should help. And that's what we're trying to do it here. Not only to, of course, enhance the cooperation between Slovakia and Kenya. We do that, of course, very, very highly, but as well in a very specific and sensitively chosen areas.
I see. Which ones? So how do you enhance that cooperation?
We're trying really, really to help mitigate climate crisis. We do support women empowerment. And through we have few tools. One of those is, of course, development assistance. And every single project, whichever tool it is a micro grant, bilateral project, a big project, you know, or through the fund that we support EU, it always have a cross-cutting issue, and it is environment and women empowerment.
Is it?
Yes, every project we do have to have a context. Even though we support you know, it can be, we build hospital. We are building a center of excellence in Mater Hospital for pediatric cardiology, you know. So always, and there we have female doctors who has been trained, you know, and they come to Slovakia, you know. So it's quite, we always have the context there. So it is empowerment, climate, whatever we do, we try to be. But of course, we as well, you know, the sustainability is based on the trade and economic interests. So this is as well where we are quite active. So this is what we do work-wise, and in my life, in a way, it reflects, because I go to see the orchestra, the ghetto orchestra. You know, we've been supporting them. So I take my daughter with me. She goes with me. You know, so she's part of in a way,
Yes.
of my
your
work,
professional
kind of,
life.
exactly.
Yes.
She doesn't is very fan of being at the receptions or so. I mean, she's so rolling the eyes, you know. She doesn't want to. I mean, have a driver. She wants to drive herself, you know. I mean, but she's a part of it.
Yes.
But naturally, she's very, very comfortable in it, and I feel it's very important to show the generations, future ones, where to go, because they're ambassadors of
the future, and she's learning a lot now from you and what you're exposing her to.
But ambassador, I meant in a specific area, topics,
an advocate,
not the
position.
Diplomat. No, because it will be bourgeois. I mean, I'm ambassador, she is, but I mean, in the topics that she's well spoken in, whatever she chooses, she's very artistic. She loves animals. She wants to be a vet. You know, so I mean, she would be whatever she wants to be.
Do you see where it came from? Like your dad having you and your sister draw on the wall, and now your daughter is painting.
Yeah, it's possible. It's true.
Never know.
But at the same time, I let her draw on her wall.
Oh?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Of course. No, of course.
Nice. What was it like working for two presidents?
And it was great experience. I mean, I've been working as a civil servant. I mean, for the government. I mean, for the institutions since I left my university, finished my studies.
Yeah.
But the presidential office is very specific. It's I think the creme de la creme that you can get.
Of course.
I always, when I go to your presidential office, I see the protocol and everybody, you know, every have to be TikTok. You can't compare any other office to presidential.
No.
I mean, content-wise, I was responsible for foreign policy, but as well, experience-wise, protocol-wise, relationship-wise, it's very professional, and as well, in connection with the foreign policy, this is very specific, but I have to say it, to give a bit of insight. When the president is speaking about foreign policy, you have to have in mind the internal political atmosphere, how people receive it at home, not only, you know. So this is a kind of combination that is what the new trigger have to learn. Because prior, the foreign policy goes out there, and sometimes because the president is representing, it's not the Minister of Foreign Affairs, it's representing as well internal, and have to speak to people internally within internal politics.
Right.
So this is very, very, the position of the president speaking about the foreign policy, it's very, very specific. You have to time things, you have to consider current situation, you know, within inter policy. So this is another skill that you have to be very, very careful. To be successful, of course. So it has been a great experience. I was super lucky to have a very inspirational, because I was there as a part of the team. I was so I had my superior. So I was super lucky to have those. One was my immediate boss. It was a colleague of mine. I mean, he was a male, but he was very inspirational. He taught everybody a great lesson. So this is one. What I was very lucky, because the people were ready to share, and for me as well to learn. And as well, another things which I, apart from the specific kind of working level, I had experience working for a female and for a male president. So it was very specific as well, and it did have very specific its own specifications. It did.
Is there a difference with how ladies rule and how gents rule? Like, one would assume that with a female it's maybe softer, gentler. Is that obviously is a wrong assumption and stereotype?
I think it is very stereotypical. It's not about the gender. No, not gender. It's not about whether it's gentle or not. Maybe it is about whether it is passionate, whether you have enough patience, for example. You know, not patient like if you're patient. Sorry for my English, but just to be very specific. So it's, for example, let's call it that way. And as well, the atmosphere for another woman, because once you have a female boss, I mean, there is zero tolerance for anybody to men's talk or you know, have kind of those like jokes or just those hints. Can you pass me coffee? No, pass it yourself. You know, I mean,
coffee.
That's your coffee. I mean, to lay fingers, you can do that. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not happy to pass coffee to anybody.
But don't send me nothing.
But it didn't happen to me, luckily. But it does happen.
I clapped till he came.
Yeah, see, yeah, that's he thinks you're gonna throw him a ball now. Now you have to do it because then he would not understand the thing.
It's okay. It's fine. We're happy to have him. So yes, so you're saying it's different in that way, like.
Yes, it is different in that way. However, the previous president was very comfortable, great atmosphere for work, of course, because it's a presidential office.
Yes.
I mean, you have to have specific standards
Yes,
there.
of course.
But I felt very comfortable my second 2 years. I mean, my 2 years with the current president.
Yes, that's awesome. You've had a colorful life. Like you hit a target, and you worked hard for it, and you got it. So women empowerment is a big deal in Slovakia.
It is. We still have a long time way to go.
Yeah.
I think we are facing the same problems like everywhere. Like women in Kenya, we face the very same problem in Slovakia. But we did have we are in European Union, of course, and we have a specific laws on the table that protect us.
Yes.
But we still do experience things of you know the silent work that you are not paid for the work that you do.
Yes.
You know. I mean, so it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It is a big deal. It is. Now we are addressing it quite. It's a necessity for the society. Women have to be part.
Yes.
We represent more than 50% of the society,
Yeah.
and you miss out. Imagine. I'll give you one example, if I may. You in Slovakia, we have companies and we have like those marathon kind of gatherings. You know, we do it. I mean, the companies, you know, they have the runners and they compete. And of course, you're proud if your company wins.
Wins, yes.
I mean, marathon, 10 kilometers. Just don't get me wrong.
10.
And then 5 people, divided in between them. But imagine those companies if they would be picking only men, and not who is the best. Imagine. And one company have got females who are good, for example, sporty.
Yeah.
So, and they would avoid picking them because they're women. So, if you are not picking the best, you are losing. Because it's the same with the society. If you don't choose the women who are the best and who can have all the potential and all the possibilities to express themselves and to be active, if you don't use this potential, you're losing as a society, you're losing as a country, as a nation.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a necessity, and any clever leader should see that, and that's what we are targeting now.
I love it. It was such a refreshing conversation.
Thank you.
And you're so inspiring. Just
Pleasure was
speaking to
on my side.
a lady who's come up way so high, and the work you put in it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Anytime, please.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and thank you and welcome to Slovakia for a second.
Yes, we are not coming back to Kenya. I'm sorry, guys. We are here in Slovakia.
Yeah,
in
it's
fact,
true.
There's so much room here. We are protected by the protected
Slovak laws and the constitution, but it's not that different to Kenyan. So.
Okay, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been so inspiring to have this conversation with Her Excellency Ambassador Katarina
Leligdonova.
Leligdonova.
Yeah.
Seriously, Catherine, like the gods of Slovakia. They should be with me for this photo. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you for your time as well. This end repeat on Tuesday at 10 p.m.